Well, good morning, YouTube. All right, guys, Tuesday morning, our day off here in Panama City has come to an end. Today, we hit the Myrtle. It's about 6 a.m. The sun is starting to come up to the east. Katie's getting the inside of Goliath ready. I'm going to unplug the cords, get them fired up, and get ready to head out of here in probably the next 10 or 15 minutes. After loading the bikes up last night, I made sure to plug the battery charger into the battery so it's fully top charged. Well, good thing for a final circle check, because I realized that I forgot to plug the trailer in yesterday. Glad I caught it before we got out on the road. I would have noticed as soon as we started driving because the brakes would have been connected, but glad I caught it now. Goliath fired up, letting the airbags raise up the level, do a final check there, checking all the lights, everything looks pretty good. We're gonna hit the road in just a few minutes. All right, guys, I think we're ready to go. Mirrors all adjusted, multiple walk-arounds. I think we're all set. Now I'm gonna back up a little bit to set myself up for this gate better, and then we're gonna roll out. Move this gate back a little bit, so it's not as hard for me to get through now as it used to be. It used to be right here. I had to be super careful with the tail swing to be able to make this turn, because it's not just a left turn, it curves back almost like a U-turn, but not quite. All right, and we're clear. City Beach Rally back in 2014. And when we started doing this rally, Highway 79 from Panama City all the way up to Bonifay was primarily the 2-lane road. There were some spots where it was 4-lane, but primarily 2-lane. And over that time, we've seen them rip the road completely apart and widen almost the entire length of it, the 4-lane, except for this one section right here in New Hope. Now, they finished the rest of the construction many, many years ago, and it just seems like this section here never gets done. I was curious if any of you knew why this one section is unfinished. Just kind of annoying to me. Year after year, we have this one section that seems like it remains completely unchanged. Tallahassee, patchy fog on and off almost the whole way. Figures as soon as I start to record. Some of it so thick we can barely see. And some of it just annoying enough where it didn't justify leaving the wipers on, but it was leaving a mist on the windshield. So I had to turn them on, turn them off. A couple minutes later, turn them on, turn them off. That's kind of annoying. You go through Tallahassee, there's a lot of slow-moving traffic. It wasn't heavy traffic. It was just cars that weren't doing any more than 55 mile an hour into 70 because they're going up a little bit of a hill. They can't be losing their momentum. It's pretty overcast out for the most part. Getting a little bit of sunshine now. It's been a pretty nice drive so far. Jacksonville Beltway, the 295, where we'll head north and then meet up with 95 eventually. It's only about 11 o'clock in the morning right now. That's Eastern time. At 8 o'clock this morning, Central time, we crossed the Apalachicola River shortly before we got to Tallahassee. And of course, we lost an hour. It instantly became 9 a.m. So that kind of sucks, but it's still early enough in the day. I feel like we're making pretty good time. We haven't made any stops or anything yet. But at some point in the near future, I think I'm gonna maybe pull off, get some coffee, use that opportunity to use the restroom, get back on the road. just stopped at exit 1 in Georgia. It's about that time to relieve the bladder, get some coffee, stretch my legs. It's been what, 4 or 5, I don't know how many hours without stopping, so it's kind of good to get out, move your legs a little bit. Well, I was inside getting coffee, using the restroom. Katie made me a sandwich and some chips, and there's nobody behind us at the fuel island. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this real fast. I cleaned the windshield when I was here as well, because lots of bug guts this morning. Tell you what, that sure was good. One thing I can say about Katie, she can sure make a mean sandwich. All right, and before anybody bitches at me for sitting and eating my lunch at the fuel island, like I said, there's nobody behind us. Still nobody behind us. And I can't pull forward, and I'll show you why in just a second. I could have pulled out to the parking lot, but right now I'm in the shade. And remember, Goliath has no air conditioning, and it's brutal hot out right now. Even going down the road, it's hot. Anyway, I can't pull forward here because this particular pilot has got a very short pull-up space. In fact, there's no line even on the ground. And because Goliath is so long, if I would have pulled far enough to clear the pumps, no trucks to the left of me would have been able to get out, and I would have been blocking the rest of the driveway. So as you can see, the interstate on-ramp is right in front of us. And this right here is part of the driveway. My trailer is still at the fuel island. And right now, I'm clear of the fuel island. So if I would have just stayed here, I would have blocked everybody. Way worse than if I'd done what I would have done. Anyway, we're gonna get back on the road now. Georgia is a relatively short state here on I-95. It's only, if I'm not mistaken, about 110 miles. So it should take us about an hour and a half or so, give or take, a little over, to get through it. And once we're in South Carolina, we're not on the interstate for much longer. We'll get off onto Highway 17 at that point and run up towards Charleston. just got off of the interstate, and we were kind of just merging onto 17 still, and a couple trucks passed us, and heard somebody come over the radio saying something, well, hello, Amsoil. I'm assuming they were talking to me. If that was you, I did try to reply. I just don't think that we're sending, we're receiving, because you never replied after I replied, so I have no idea whether you heard me or not. Guys, we're just now coming into the Charleston area. I think like another mile or so, we'll get onto the 526, the bypass, and loop around it. It's a little bit out of the way, but it's better than trying to go through downtown. finished with the 526 bypass. But as we've been on it, we can see traffic significantly increasing. It's about that time of day. It's like 4:30ish or so. I have the feeling when we get off on the 17 and we go through Mount Pleasant, we're going to deal with some pretty heavy traffic there. Probably time lapse through that because it'll get boring otherwise, but we are almost there. Made it through all the traffic at Mount Pleasant, and I'm sure you can tell by the time lapse, it was nothing but stop and go, every single light. You guys remember last year was pretty amazing. I expected to get stopped at every light, and we didn't. Every single light was green. We never came to a stop the whole way through. And I tried the time lapse of last year, and if you guys remember, the footage came out a little goofy, because instead of time lapsing, I accidentally set it on slow motion. So that 20 minutes of traffic was like 60 minutes of slow motion. Anyway, so I had to fix it and speed it all up, and it didn't come out right, but this time I think I did it right. When we're getting off the exit back there, Bill from Bill's Trailer Sales was behind us in the exit. I didn't realize it was him until he passed us in the traffic. He's just ahead of us now. He was able to get ahead at a couple of the stoplights. But I saw that beautiful Peterbilt come up beside us. All right, guys, well, we made it. We're here at the car wash. Just gonna get myself in a position to drop the trailer where I want it so I can move the truck into position, and we'll get it all set up. And hopefully we'll get some dinner. I'm getting hungry again. Hey, look who beat us here. She got here faster than us. She left Port Charlotte first thing this morning, just like we left Panama City. All right, so I think we decided we're just gonna drop the trailer right where it's at. It's angled for a good spot, so once we get the truck set up here, we can roll everything out and set up. Carson is on his way here to move the boat so that he can get to it tomorrow morning, because once Goliath is in place, he won't be able to get to the tongue with his truck. All right, now that the trailer's connected, I'm gonna get back into Goliath, pull it out into the street, back it up past the trailer, down there towards that orange trailer. And that way I can swing in, make the turn to get him in position where he needs to be. All right, guys, not too bad. It's 7 p.m. We're set up. Well, we're not set up. We're in our spot. We're leveled off. We're plugged in. The ACs are going. The trailer is where we need it tomorrow to load or to unload so we can set up. The bikes are unloaded and we're going to dinner. All right, guys, in front of us, we got Dee and Anthony and Cindy and Wes, Katie and Amanda with me. And it's Tuesday, so you guys know where we're going. Mexican. A little place called Habaneros down in Pawleys Island. We have been here before. It's a really good Mexican restaurant. It's a little bit of a drive, but it's definitely well worth it. What's funny is we just drove past here in Goliath. If there was a place we could have parked, we could have just met them here. All you wanna do is use me. I'm still living well, but when I talk worse. Well, guys, what an adventure today. Everything went pretty smooth. Definitely full. Mexican was very tasty and very good. Obviously, we're back. I'm sitting on the tongue of the trailer. I'm gonna start editing this video so we can get it out to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna do setup. It looks like we're gonna get storms on Thursday. So we decided to go ahead and do the setup tomorrow. That way we don't have to set up during the storms, and we can still be open by Friday. Looks like there might be some rain this week, but we'll just have to wait and see how that all works out. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next time I see ya, keep those engines running.